Hello, my name is Megan Wilson, and I am currently a graduate student in pursuit of my master's in instructional technology at Kennesaw State University. I began the program in the summer of 2015 and will graduate this May. My capstone project involves using Web 2.0 tools to increase student achievement in the coordinate algebra classroom. My reasons behind focusing on Web 2.0 tools are for the immediate feedback they provide students, as well as the visual component they offer to learn abstract mathematical concepts. It also offers a way to integrate my district's one-to-one technology plan, which has provided all students, grades 9 through 12 in our county, with a personal Chromebook. The intent of this capstone project was to offer web resources to students to learn the abstract concept of geometry in coordinate algebra, as well as give formative assessments to gauge student comprehension and guide instruction during the course of the geometry unit of study. The goal of this project was that student achievement would increase as shown by the results of a post-test and be seen as successful based on the thoughts of the participants involved. My capstone was conducted at Camden County High School during the 2016-2017 school year. CCHS is located on the coast in Southeast Georgia and has numerous honors. These include AP STEM School, AP STEM Achievement School, AP Humanities School, and we're also one of 28 schools in the state that have a Platinum Award based on games. Despite the county's one-to-one Chromebook initiative, data collected from teachers at CCHS show that students, on a daily basis, do not use Chromebooks. Many teachers have said that they feel like they lack proper training and professional development in order to effectively incorporate Chromebook usage in their classrooms for instructional purposes. Despite Google training prior to and during the year of implementation, as well as the use of digital learning institutes aimed towards effectively integrating technology in the classroom, the schools have facilitated the hardware, but teachers have not adopted the change. Coordinate algebra benchmark data also shows a significant decrease in the number of students that pass the geometry curriculum standards as opposed to the algebra curriculum standards throughout the semester. My year-long class data is well below the school averages for passing the geometry standards. Even the school average, which consists of all classes, semester, year-long, and honors gifted, is not a passing score. Research defends how web-based mathematics tools can help make abstract mathematics concepts more concrete for students. Web 2.0 tools offer an avenue of visually presenting these geometry concepts to students, as they are easily manipulated and allow for students to interact and see the impacts of different variables on the abstract concepts. As I studied literature, case studies' conclusions showed that these visual supports and their ease of use help students learn. As the implementation of Web 2.0 tools required me to change my approach to teaching, the resources will be aligned to the curriculum standards for best results. This project also correlates to my school's improvement plan, as teachers are expected to use technology as a strategy to help improve targeted areas for student academic growth. While students' learning experiences remains dependent upon the strategies chosen for implementation and integration, lessons will be more current, motivating, and highly engaging in order for students to learn the curriculum. The use of the Web 2.0 tools allows for more time to be spent on application tasks, which allows students to increase their depth of knowledge and understanding. The capstone was implemented using a case study design to allow for the analysis of the thoughts of the participants who were using Web 2.0 tools in class, but pre- and post-assessment data was also analyzed. This allowed me to gather valuable information and opinions from the sources that are most important to determining the effectiveness of the Web 2.0 tools chosen to increase their understanding of the mathematics curriculum. Throughout one unit of study during the 2016-2017 school year, the project called for the integration of Web 2.0 tools during instructional time in a year-long coordinate algebra class at Camden County High School. The purpose of this implementation is to increase student achievement to better prepare students for the school-wide benchmark and ultimately the state-mandated end-of-course test. As part of the plan, interviews were conducted, a pre-test was given, Web resources were integrated into classroom lessons and observations of the students were conducted. Students were assessed on their knowledge on the unit benchmark, and students completed a survey. Although class data was studied to assess actual achievement on tests, the project focused on a group of 5 coordinate algebra students in the same year-long section of the course with the same instructor-researcher to assess student perceptions of success. The students ranged from 14 to 16 years of age and were in the 9th or 10th grade. All students have had experience with technology in this class. However, this project was limited to studying the effects of Web 2.0 tools on learning the geometry curriculum within this coordinate algebra course. The research was qualitative in nature, used to explore students' experiences with and their perceptions of the use of the Web 2.0 tools in their own learning, while also looking at pre- and post-test results in general terms. As a result of the integration of Web 2.0 tools in the geometry unit of study, students should exit the project with a deeper understanding of course material, as well as be better prepared to perform on the school-wide benchmark and state end-of-course test. Students were assessed throughout the study using formative quizzes aligned to key concepts. The student growth from pre to post-assessment helps to illustrate the impact on student achievement gain through the integration of technology and web resources in conjunction with instruction. Student observations and surveys were used to assess the students' own actions with technology and their own perceptions of success learning the content. Students also completed a post-survey to evaluate the impact the specific resources had on their learning at the end of the project. Data was collected over 1 month, March 2017, when the Transformations Unit of Geometry was covered in the instructor-researcher's year-long coordinate algebra class. Separate interviews were conducted with the 5 participants before the unit of study began. Generalizing the interview questions that I asked, 4 out of 5 students said that they dislike mathematics, and 3 of those 4 said it was because of previous teachers that they've had. All have said that they have used technology, not just in mathematics, but in also their other classes. However, they've never used the internet as a resource when they need extra help. All of them said that they prefer to learn other ways besides lecturing and have labeled themselves as kinesthetic and tactile learners, either or, maybe even sometimes both. They mainly said their decisions were because of the reason that they want to enter a field like teaching, medical, construction, something where they're kept busy rather than sitting behind a desk. At the beginning of the unit, I administered a pretest to gauge the students' prior knowledge of the geometry standards and to serve as a baseline to measure student growth regarding the comprehension of the material. While the pre- and post assessments were not the same, as these are administered by the school and cannot be altered, the pretest was created using the same software as the post-test. The test layout and question verbiage is similar in nature to the post-test, and thus I consider them comparable to one another. The resources chosen to integrate into the geometry curriculum instruction included a variety of materials such as video lectures and narrated slide presentations for home using Gene, Web 2.0 tools, used to reinforce the transformation concepts and rules, and formative assessments via Poll Everywhere and Pear Deck. Graphing software on Desmos was used to complete a performance task where students created a logo using transformations as well. The observation gave me an opportunity to see how the participants interacted with peers and worked with the Web 2.0 tools. The purpose for conducting the observation is to see how the participants interacted with the technology during a typical class day. This can be very difficult for 14 to 16-year-old kids. Therefore, I wanted to document the information. Finally, at the conclusion of the project, I gathered results from a survey to assess the students' interpretations of the technology that was used throughout the study, and whether or not the integration of this technology and the web resources impacted their own learning. Some quotes from the survey I gave out that really resonated with me included, "I didn't have to listen to you repeat things over and over when it's not necessary. I really like the availability of the teacher throughout the unit. I can't do math on my own, and I have a better chance to understand it, especially with you here all the time. Everyone interprets things differently, so when you are extracting the information yourself while using the resources, it helps you more because it is your understanding of it and not the teacher trying to get you to understand it a certain way. I don't feel as nervous to participate through technology. Additionally, it provided me with insight in regards to students' perspective of which mediums work best to deliver content. I plan to use this feedback to provide guidance for next year's geometry curriculum plans. The post-assessment was aimed to measure student growth and achievement. The results show that the use of Web 2.0 tools had a positive impact on student comprehension and achievement. All students demonstrated growth from the pre-test to the follow-up assessment. Additionally, specific standards that showed the most growth from 2016 to 2017 were GCO 3, which has to do with students being able to visually picture a transformation taking place and where it should end up without having to graph it, and GCO 4, which is where students develop their own definitions of the transformations in terms of the pre-image and the image, what should be parallel or perpendicular or congruent after a transformation takes place. Students' likes about the use of Web 2.0 tools included the opportunity to get ahead or work at their own pace, getting immediate feedback, and participating in a more easygoing environment. However, the students did not always have such a positive opinion about using technology in the beginning. While many students were used to using technology to complete assignments, it had never been integrated into the learning process. Students had never really witnessed how technology could help them learn instead of just recall information after it had been taught. Most participants interviewed claimed that the major benefits of using the Web 2.0 tools to learn were the opportunity to construct understanding on their own, the opportunity for collaboration with peers, and the immediate feedback. With the increased use of technology in education today, the ability to deliver high-quality instruction is more versatile than ever, and it gives more opportunities for individualized instruction. The use of the videos and other resources for instruction allows for students to construct their own knowledge and create an understanding that is best suited to their learning needs. Math is a subject that is best learned by building on prior knowledge and to create relationships with new information. The whole group instruction does not offer the chance for students to use previous understandings. The integration of Web 2.0 tools allows the teacher to provide more individualized instruction and create opportunities for students to participate in activities that can increase the depth of their understanding. One takeaway from this project was that additional assistance and scaffolding is needed for students who were using specific resources for the first time. Initially, I had thought that a tutorial and demonstration would be enough for the students. However, screencasts or videos that students could access when needed would prove more valuable and allow less time spent on questions and more time spent on learning activities.